odds to make this call, but he knows his hand's going to be dominated a fair amount of the time. I set Berender up with a good chance to go deep in this EPT San Remo in the 200-400 level, losing a nearly 110,000 chip pot to him with just a nut flush draw versus flop set. I turned the flush, but he rivered the boat.
Was that a bad beat story?
No, that was clearly a bad play story, playing 100 big blind pot with just a flush draw.
Poor old Win looks absolutely tortured. He looks back at his hand. You know what I said about that before?
Scratching his head. Berender practically begging for a call.
The fold's coming, I'm telling you. He's looked at his cards. I think the fold's coming. Yeah, he lays it down, and we can see that it's a good pass.
And Berender has to be happy with that outcome. He just won nearly 600,000 in chips, and he didn't even have to see a flop.
So Win survives with more than $1 million in chips, looking to become the first ever two-time champion on the European Poker Tour. Despite 6 seasons of this tour, no one has ever won 2 main events.
It seems that everywhere you look these days, there's an EPT champion lurking somewhere in the masses. From the most recent winner at Snowfest, Alan Backer, to the many past champs, some of whom you may have forgotten. But they all share the same goal, to become the first ever player to win 2 EPT titles.
To win it once is a big achievement. To win it twice, I would say it's exceptional, and I wouldn't say it's impossible. And if somebody really proves it, he's gonna be a legend.
I think the closest people that have been there, I mean, Mike McDonald has been very, very close.
Elke come close a bunch of times. I think Brandon Schaefer was really close.
Mark Telcher, he came second, and he was previously winning the EPT in London.
Maxim Likov. I think he would be like, yeah, probably very likely one of the few guys who could do it.
Jan Skampa, the last EPT Prague winner.
I got very, very close in Warsaw.
It might sound ridiculous, but before my first win, my goal was to be the first guy to win 2 EPTs.
That would be like the biggest achievement ever, to try to snatch the second EPT title.
So yeah, I have been thinking about it.
And then every EPT there's one more winner, so it's like getting tougher and tougher.
Who knows, maybe we'll never have a second winner.
Obviously it would mean like so much to be the first one, because there's so many people like that won 1 EPT, but that would be the first and the only one who won 2.
Of course I will say myself. Yeah, but that would be like impossible.
I put my money on Jason Mercier.
Feeling pretty good.
He's really talented, he's a good player, and he's really hot, and he wants to win again, and I would put my money on Jason then.
Right now my money's on this guy, the tournament chip leader, Alan Backer, looking to go back-to-back on the European Poker Tour. I apologise for that joke.
That's something hard to do today with today's large fields.
Pocket jacks for Eric Tam. Still playing 20,000, 40,000 blinds. So he's going to raise to 95,000. And it's Ace-King again for Paul Berender. Only this time it's Ace-King suited. And everyone knows, William, that Ace-King suited never loses.
Here he is, thinking about how many chips to put in. And he makes a nice 3-bet to 245,000 in position on the button.
Squeezing the king, but it's a king 10. It goes in the muck. Reben has folded the small blind. I'm pretty sure that Win is going to fold the big blind. Yep. So back to Tam with the jacks.
Now Tam started this hand with 1.8 million in chips. He's out of position. There's already a lot of money in. I think we'll see him re-raise.
Meanwhile, one of his fellow countrymen, Jens Thorsen, William Thorsen's brother, has just been eliminated from one of our outer tables. if he does re-raise, William, it's all in, right?
Yes, it's the only play with 40 big blinds.
And if you were to fold here, would you consider that a bit tight?
I would consider that a pro hero fold. A pro's fold.
Especially because ace-king suited never loses.
Exactly. He's up against one of the best. The best drawing hand in poker, ace-king of diamonds.
Wow, everyone at this table really likes to think long and hard before making a decision. Nothing wrong with that, a lot of money on the line.
Everyone requesting the time button.
He said the word raise.
I was thinking about just what to raise. I want to hear the two words.
No, he doesn't move all in, he makes it 480.
I'm all in.
Berenda comes instantly over the top with an all-in. And now Tam, slightly confused with that instant all-in.
Question, has Tam committed himself with that 4-bet?
Yes, there's no getting away from this hand. He's put in 480,000 chips out of his 1.8 million, and he has pocket jacks.
Call. Yeah, he's made the call. So the net result is the same, it's just it was Berenda who ended up shoving rather than Tam.
Tam decided to make a little small 4-bet there to let Berenda 5-bet, maybe a lighter hand all in, but then he didn't snap call. He decided to think about it a little more. So now they're all in, and here we go. We're off to the races.
Although as we can see, the jacks are actually a 57% favourite. We talk about this being a coin flip, but I'll take the jacks every day of the week and twice on Tuesdays.
And the flop shows deuce of clubs.
So far, so good.
Ten of spades. So Eric, the only player, is in the lead with pair of jacks. Let's see the turn card.
Do we get a sweat on the turn? Yes, we do. Gives Berenda one more out. In fact, one of Tam's 2 jacks.
Now exactly what Tam doesn't want to see. Trips.
Jack and ace are a king, but it's a 10. The jacks hold up.
And Paul's going to lose the majority of his chip stack with this race.
What did I say? Ace-king suited never wins.
Never wins.
Berenda now with a stack of 248,000. That's just over 6 big blinds. The action resumes here in San Remo. Just a couple of minutes' time.
Welcome back to the PokerStars.com European Poker Tour, coming to you from sunny San Remo in Italy. It's great to be back. It's a lovely place and the most popular stop on the tour. A record-breaking 1,240 players entered this event from all over the world, giving us an absolutely staggering prize pool of €6 million. It was, as ever, a very tough field. The biggest names in the game came to play, but always entertaining Humberto Brenner's to name just one. And it was former champs galore, including EPT4 San Remo winner Jason Mercier. And of course, plenty of gorgeous gals to boot. San Remo is always a hit.
Blinds still 20 and 40,000. We're going to do something a bit special now at our feature table. We're going to sweat with Alan and only see Mr. Backer's hole cards. So William, you have to play the hand from Alan's perspective and try and put his opponents on a range of hands.
Okay, we'll see how well I can do that.
So raise from Backer with the ace-10. A little over a min raise. He's going to get action from the Romanian, Ramon Cesare.
Cesare's starting the hand with almost 50 big blinds here, and he's in the cutoff facing Alan's early position raise. And he calls. Okay, Cesare, arranged for this. I'd put him some type of mid pair and anywhere from like 6s to pocket 10s and a lot of suited paint hands. I would expect the suited connectors to be out of his game at this point, only stronger value hands.
Are either of the blinds going to get involved? And up winning the small, he passes. Jakob Karlsson in the big, he lets it go. So we are heads up to the flop.
Okay, heads up, Cesare with position, backer with the chip lead.
Ten high flop, but all clubs. Should backer bet this?
He flopped top. If he checks, he's risking it getting checked back, and there's a lot of scare cards, but he does decide to do that in here. We'll see the turn if one of those scare cards comes out.
Now 3 cards to a straight. And certainly a hand like King Queen, or a hand like Jack 10 even, could be in the Romanian's range.
You could have a lot of those paint hands, and he puts out a quick bet. 120,000, half pot again. Now if Alan makes his call, he has to dodge a lot of river cards.
Well, he makes the call. Let's see what comes on the river. It's another jack.
Okay, pairs the jack. Doesn't really change much. And with 500,000 in the pot, he checks it to Cesare again.
Has Alan gone into check call mode? Depends what the river bet is, I guess. Nearly 500,000 in the middle, and he makes it 185,000.
He puts out a little teaser bet. Now Alan has the top of his range here with the ace 10. And he's getting good odds.
But it's a bet that looks like it's just aching to be called, right? He makes the call.
And Cesare flips over.
King Queen.
Straight, 9 to king. Yeah, he extracted about as much value as he could out of that. If he bet any larger, Alan may have been timid and mucked his cards, but half pot gets the call.
And in terms of reading the Romanian's hand, William, I'm going to give you 9 out of 10 for that one.
All right, spot on.
Let's check in on one of the outer tables. A sizable pot being shipped over to the Finnish player Tony Pettersson. Not only does he get a lot of chips there, he's getting an admiring glance from Lidbury. Still 3 tables remain. We are playing down to our final 8. Eventually we'll play down to a winner. Will be crowned champion of San Remo and will receive 1.25 million euros. Blinds are up, by the way. We're now playing 25-50,000. And Eric Tam has suited 1 gappers. The 8-10 of clubs, he makes it 125k. And Paul Berenda, very short stack, moves all in for his last 145,000 with King Queen of Diamonds.
Now Cesare, there's already a raise and a small all-in. He knows his ace-10 is going to play well versus the chip leaders open and a short stack all-in. Yep, and he's really thinking about it. He might be isolating Berenda here.
Hey guys. Ramon re-raised to 300,000.
Smell the bet's 300 straight. Looks like Reben has a bit of a decision on the button, but he decides to let it go.
Alexei pass. Frank pass.
Blinds fold.
Comes back to Eric. He's in for 1.8.